The Splatoon franchise has always prioritized quick and fast matchmaking, which is a good upside, especially when the games are also just very quick. And I would like to say that's a good thing as a whole, if it didn't quite literally ruin everything else as a whole with the matchmaking. Yeah, we're talking about this game's terrible matchmaking and what I, in my opinion, think would be a way better matchmaking and more fair for the game. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's move right into this. Now let's get Turf and both Anarchy modes out the way. Well, they don't have matchmaking. They straight up don't. For Turf War, I think it can stay this way. The only thing I want Turf War to try and do is match you with people around your skill level. Splatoon 3 now tries to match you twice before giving up. Let's try and match you with people around your skill level the first time, and if it can't find enough people, then we'll loosen the strings for the matchmaking. And let's keep this as a whole for this entire video. Let's just say that's how this is going to go with every matchmaking system. We will go over Anarchy series when I go over X. As for Open, this mode just sucks. It tries to be a quick play and League at the same time, and it's stupid. So let's imagine that this is a perfect world where this game has League, and that's what teams will play and leave open for casuals. I'm sure the more competitive groups will play it over Open. Now sadly, this does add on to the amount of options you have to play in this game, but if we had League, we would have 4 rotations, so all 4 modes would be playable at once, which I think is a huge plus for this game. Okay, X rank. So to my knowledge, this is the matchmaking list to what weapons can be paired with each other in X rank. And I'm sorry, since when was E-liter versus a Squiffer, or a Goo Tuber, or a Bamboo ever fair? Never! All 3 of these weapons take way more skill and dedication than E-liter. Am I saying E-liter takes no skill? No charger is easy. But when someone wants to play one of these chargers, 9 times out of 10, you're fighting an E-liter. So now, I'm going to show you my matchmaking list and go over some of the changes and intents with these changes and how I would like this list to work. So our list is split into 4 parts: fast pace, mid pace, slow pace, and backline. Now, the pairing will be lenient, but in a perfect world, I would like each team to have 2 fast-paced weapons, 1 mid-pace, and either a slow or backline. If we can't get that on our first queue, then let fast and mid-pace free to 3 slots for each team. Now, that out the way, let's start with chargers. So as you see here, each category has at least 2 chargers, unlike the current matchmaking. But yes, I hear you asking, but Mids, doesn't this mean you can get a team with all chargers? No, why would I let that fly? If a team is given a charger, it will lock every other category out of having a charger. So there will only be 1 charger. And there can still be a backline, being ballpoint or Hydra. This makes it so that you are playing one of the cooler chargers and you won't always be forced to fight an E-liter. The chances are lessened because these chargers aren't locked into the same category as the other chargers. On to the splatlings. Can I say, why is Heavy a long-ranged weapon? No, this is a mid-range. Yes, it does have pretty dang good range. But have you tried playing Heavy? It isn't easy, especially with how fast-paced Splatoon 3 is, and we also move both BPs and Hydra to backline. Yes, I don't think that a Splatling and Charger matchup is great, but I think it is more tolerable than what we are working with right now. And we are also going to move Headit to fast-paced. Why, you might ask? It's heavy range. Well, I think Headit fits a certain niche that is deserving to be considered a fast-paced weapon. Alrighty, the lightning round. Dualies are the same as before because I think they are okay where they are, and for the only blaster that is moved, well, it's Blaster, moving it to mid-range because I think it fits this bunch of weapons way better, while all the umbrellas except Undercover have been moved down a tier, 1 umbrella for each 3 paces. Bows are the same and doomed. All buckets except Dread and Blob are the same. These 2 are moved to slower pace because these buckets struggle to fight other buckets in mid pace, and I don't think it's really fair for these weapons to be in the same pool. Stamper has been bumped to slow pace because that shit is literally outranges Jet. Octo and Pain are not fast-paced weapons. What are they doing here? Paintbrush versus 52 Gal. Surely the brush will win. Oh yeah. Now that we're clear, let's move on to Rollers. Dynamo, move him to the back. It's so slow. Roller is your middle of the line mid-pace roller. Swig, though, is very weird. So I'm just smacking it straight in the middle because it tries to do everything, but it's just garbo! Still love Swig, though. Now the shooters, my least favorite class in the game. How do we fix you? I don't know. But we are going to move 96 and H3 to slow pace. These weapons feel miserable to fight Pro or Nova. It's just a joke. That's how I want every class to look in this list, but how do I want these paces to clash with each other? Well, I can give my vision on how I would see this matchmaking playing out with some outcomes. Let's start with backline. They are backlines. What else do you want? Now let's go down the list and start with slow pace. I would say the heart of the slow pace tier is Tent, Charger, Squeezer, and Stamper. Of course, Squeezer is great at poking chargers, Tent is great at stalling, Stamper is an insane flexible weapon, and Chargers are chargers. But let's look at what else is in this tier. We have Blob, X-Blow, Dread, which completely counter Tent, and even Bow. Shooting bottles in front of a moving Tent shield is a great counter to a Tent playing around its shield, and we even have Dynamo for flicking over the Tent. But you also have Squeezer in 96, Jet, and Rapid to punish these slower weapons at long range. Slow pace is definitely the tier I am most happy with because I feel like everything here just clashes with each other very well with all of these picks. On to mid pace, this is where it gets harder to set a vision because these just have way more weapons than the other tiers. But these weapons are here to apply pressure and do it well. We have Brellas for stalling, but it's completely countered by blasters. But hey, we have dualies, that's a good matchup for Brellas. A lot of the weapons you see here have similar kill times, and this is kind of going to be the same thing for the fast-paced tier as well. All of these weapons kill extremely quickly, not you two, and have insane movement. So these are your slayers and are going to be the ones that are going to go for confirming the kill. And moving a lot of the questionable choices out of fast pace, this is a lot cleaner and more balanced. Splat dualies have dodge rolls to make up for the pace that Splattershot and Splash have. Tri, Wiper, and Carbon all are up close fighters that will be all over you, but then you have Zap, Mini, or big AoE damage like Clash or Luna. It's insane how few little changes can actually be very big changes. Oh, and I didn't forget about the specials. This is my biggest gripe. Why can't I have a team with 3 Zookas, or 3 Coolers, or 3 Inkbacks? Some are broken and some are terrible. In X rank, and only X rank, are we limiting specials. No more than 1 Cooler, or Bubble. Why Bubble? Because fuck triple Bubble. And I don't know how badly this would affect the matchmaking, but I would like for if one team is going to have Cooler, the other team will also have Cooler. It's just so much harder fighting Cooler with no Cooler, and for Kraken and Reef Slider, we have a placement just for this for Clam Cheese. If the mode is Clam Blitz, you cannot have 2 Krakens or 2 Reef Sliders, but in any other mode, you can have 2 Krakens or 2 Reef Sliders. Is that something you're gonna want? Probably not. And lastly, we have Anarchy series. This is also solo queue, but I don't think it needs what we just went over for X, but it does need some invisible MMR or SSR number for skill-based matchmaking. Will these changes ever happen? No. Should they? Probably not. I'm not a game developer. But I genuinely think these changes would be better for the game's matchmaking. It would make it more fair. Even if it means giving up Twitch matchmaking, but I don't think that'll ever happen because Nintendo doesn't seem to like competitive scenes and they want to advertise quick and fast matchmaking. But a player can dream, can't they? Let me know what you want changed in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope that at some point in the future, where Nintendo will look at a deeper dive into giving us a better system. Well, with that all out of the way, for the low price of $40, you can put Blue Chara in New York City.